Today we are going to start with the sex chromosome. In the previous lecture we have studied about the chromosomes. That is, chromosomes are always present in pairs. Morphologically and genetically similar chromosomes are called as homologous chromosomes. Here, under these types of chromosomes, we have seen that there are two types of chromosomes, and these two types of chromosomes are the autosomes and sex chromosomes. Autosomes are responsible for determination of body characters, while sex chromosomes are concerned with determination of sex. So here we are going to study with sex chromosomes. See here, the chromosomes responsible for determination of sex are called as sex chromosomes, which are also called as allosomes. Remember the term allosome for the sex chromosomes. In case of human beings and in case of other mammals, these sex chromosomes are of two types, that is X and Y chromosomes. Remember that crossing over takes place only between homologous region of X and Y chromosome. What is the meaning of homologous region? As we have seen, the similar part. Homo for same, logos for position of genes, that is gene loci. So crossing over takes place between homologous region of X and Y chromosome. See in the diagram. This is the X chromosome, which is rod-like and longer, and this is Y chromosome. This is also rod-like, but it is shorter in length. Here diagram shows that this part is homologous region of the X and Y chromosome. That means this much part of X chromosome is similar to this much part of Y chromosome, and hence it is called as homologous region. This upper part, which is not similar to each other, is called as non-homologous region. What does it mean? The genes present on this part of X chromosome and genes present on this part of Y chromosome are exactly similar to each other. So this similar part means what? Consisting of similar genes becomes homologous region. And this upper part of the X and Y chromosome, which are consisting of dissimilar genes, are called as non-homologous region. You have to remember this sentence, that is, crossing over takes place only between homologous region of X and Y chromosome. Okay, so this is for X and Y chromosome, that is the sex chromosome in case of human beings and other mammals. Now see, what is the difference between X and Y chromosome? As we have seen in the diagram, X chromosome rod-shaped, Y chromosome is also rod-shaped. What is the difference? X chromosome is longer and Y chromosome is shorter. Second difference is X chromosome contains more euchromatin, that is the extended region, and contains more DNA or genes, and in case of Y chromosome it contains less euchromatin. What's the meaning of euchromatin and heterochromatin? We will see that diagrammatically. So here this is the diagram showing euchromatin and heterochromatin. So what is this euchromatin? It is the extended part of chromosome, and it is this heterochromatin, it is the condensed part of chromosome. What does it mean? Here this diagram, it shows this yellow colored circle means the histone octamer. So here these histone octamers are present, and these histone octamers are wrapped by this DNA strand. The DNA strand which joins these two histone octamers, it is called as linker DNA. So what is visible in this diagram? These histone octamers stay apart from each other and join together by this linker DNA. What is the condition in case of heterochromatin? This linker, this histone octamers are nearer to each other and they are wrapped by this DNA strand. So this is the extended part of the chromosome called as euchromatin, and this condensed part of the chromosome is called as heterochromatin. So what is the condition in case of X chromosome? X chromosome consists of more euchromatin. It consists of more extended part and consists of more DNA. In case of Y chromosome, less euchromatin is present and contains more heterochromatin. So here also in case of X chromosome, more euchromatin and less heterochromatin. I think this point is clear for you. What's the meaning of euchromatin and what is the meaning of heterochromatin? Remember that as it consists of more euchromatin, it is more active, and here less euchromatin is present and hence it is less active. Now in case of X chromosome, its non-homologous region consists of more genes. As we have seen the diagram, X chromosome is longer and its non-homologous region is also longer, hence consists of more genes. And in case of Y chromosome, non-homologous region consists of less genes as this part is shorter. Remember that genes present on non-homologous region of X chromosomes are called as X-linked genes, and the genes present on non-homologous region of Y chromosome are called as Y-linked genes. Once again, we will see the diagram of X and Y chromosome. See, this is the diagram for X and Y chromosome. You can see this is the homologous region. This part is the homologous region. Here, this is the homologous region of Y chromosome having similar genes. This upper part is non-homologous region of X chromosome, which is longer one and hence consists of more genes. Remember that genes present on this region, which region? Non-homologous region, are called as X-linked genes, which are linked with non-homologous region of X chromosome. Similarly, here, this is the non-homologous region. Genes present on non-homologous region of Y chromosome are called as Y-linked genes. So remember the meaning of X-linked gene and Y-linked gene. Here the word non-homologous region is important, which is a dissimilar region of X and Y chromosome. So different genes are present on non-homologous part of X chromosome and Y chromosome. So what are X-linked genes? Genes found on non-homologous region of X chromosome. What are Y-linked genes? Genes present on non-homologous region of Y chromosome. Okay, so I think idea about sex chromosome, their structure and the difference between X and Y chromosome is clear for you. So we have seen difference between X and Y chromosome as well as the idea about euchromatin and heterochromatin is also clear. Now we are going to see about sex determination in human being. What does it mean? How the sex is determined. As we have seen, characters, body characters as well as sex of an individual is determined by the chromosomes. So how the determination of sex takes place in case of human being? It's an important part. Question can be asked for 3 marks. Now see, in case of human being, sex determination is of XX, XY type. This XX means 2 X chromosomes are present and XY is for 1 X and 1 Y chromosome is present. So remember, in case of human females, these XX chromosomes are present, and in case of human male, XY are the sex chromosomes. We will see the detail. In human beings, each somatic cell consists of 46 or 23 pairs of chromosomes. This is the general idea about the number of chromosomes. I think all of you know about the number of chromosomes, about the diploid number of chromosome in somatic cells. So what is it? It is 46 chromosome or in the form of 23 pairs. Now, out of this 23, 22 pairs are called as autosomes. Autosomes means what? Which determines body characters except sex. So out of 23, 22 pairs are autosomes and one pair is of sex chromosome, which are also called as allosomes. So what is the condition in case of human female? In case of human female, here a pair of X chromosome is present. That means we can say 2 X chromosomes are present. Hence, human females are called as homomorphic, also called as homogametic. While male consists of 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. That means these two are the dissimilar chromosomes, and hence human males are called as heteromorphic, or they are called as heterogametic. Okay, so remember that genotype for human female is 44A. A is for what? A is for autosomes. So 44 autosomes, or we can say 22 pairs of autosomes are present and one pair of sex chromosome. So total 23 pairs of chromosomes, or we can say 46 chromosomes are present. Remember, for human female, genotype is 44 autosomes plus homomorphic or similar pair of X chromosome. Human male having 44 autosomes and heteromorphic X chromosome, that is X1. So genotype is 44A plus X1. Now we are going to study how the sex is determined in case of human beings. So in case of human being, now we know that human male is heteromorphic consisting of X and Y type of chromosome, and human male is homomorphic consists of XX chromosomes. Next step is here gamete formation. This gamete formation involves meiosis, that is reductional division, and because of this reductional division, this X and Y chromosomes are get separated. So one of the gamete consists of X chromosome, other gamete consists of Y chromosome. As the two gametes formed are different, consisting of one of the gamete consists of X chromosome, other consists of Y chromosome. So they are different from each other, and hence we can say that human males are heterogametic, producing two different types of gametes. Now we'll see about the human female. In case of female, as we have studied, 44 autosomes and 2 X chromosomes are present. Because of presence of this 2 X chromosome, human female are called as homomorphic, also called as homogametic. Why homogametic? Because from this genotype, from a pair of X chromosome, 2 gametes are produced, and both of them consist of X chromosome only. That means these two gametes are similar in their structure, and hence it is homogametic type of sex. So in case of human male, the chromosomes present are XY, and gametes produced are also X and Y type of gamete. That means X containing sperm, and this is Y containing sperm, and here the ovum which are formed are similar and consist of only X chromosome. So this is for the parental generation, their genotype and the gamete formation. Now we'll see the fertilization of gametes, and this fertilization of gametes results in the formation of F1 generation. So what is this fertilization? It is union of sperms. Here the sperms are written X containing sperm, this is Y containing sperm. This is X containing ovum and this is X containing ovum, as these eggs are similar, consist of X chromosomes. So when this ovum, X containing ovum, unites with this X containing sperm, the genotype will be XX and resultant child will be female. When this X chromosome unite with this Y containing sperm, the genotype will be XY and resultant child will be male. Here this will be the male. Now we'll consider second ovum. When it fertilizes with this X chromosome or the X containing sperm, your genotype will be XX and resultant sex will be female. Similar is the case when this X containing ovum unites with this Y containing sperm, the gamete, the resultant child develop will be XY and that will be male. So in F1 generation we can say that 2 females and 2 males develop. So what is the conclusion? Your ratio is 1:1. So 50% chances of development of female child and 50% chances of development of male child is there. Okay, so this is about determination of sex in case of human beings. So what we can conclude from that? From this result we can conclude that sperms are heteromorphic or the male sex is heterogametic, producing X and Y type of gametes, and this Y containing sperm, it decides the sex of an individual. Hence we can say that father is responsible for determination of sex of child and not the mother. Okay, so this is the important sentence, that is sex of the child is determined by father, because in case of father, this Y containing chromosomes or the Y containing sperms are formed. Okay, so this is for determination of sex in case of human being. Question of 3 marks can be asked, or this type of schematic representation can be asked for 2 marks. Now we are going to study about determination of sex in case of birds. So in case of bird, it is called as ZWZZ type. Here this ZW is for females and this ZZ is for male. That means condition is opposite here. What we have seen in case of human beings, in case of human being, the females are homomorphic having XX type of chromosome and males are heteromorphic. What is the condition in case of birds? Females are heteromorphic having ZW type of genotype and males are having ZZ type of genotype. So heteromorphic female and homomorphic males are present. So here female is heterogametic, producing Z and W, these 2 types of gametes. Male is homogametic, ZZ genotype is there. So both the sperms producing will be of similar type, that is Z containing, and hence males are homogametic. So what is the condition here? We'll see here in the form of schematic representation. Here male diploid plus ZZ type of genotype for the sex chromosome, female 2N plus ZW, ZW is the heteromorphic condition. From males only one type of gamete, that is Z containing sperms will develop. Here also this is Z containing sperm. And from females 2 types of ovum will be produced. One is Z containing, other will be of W containing ovum. When fertilization takes place, when this male gamete, Z containing male gamete of the sperm fuses with Z containing ovum, it will be 2N plus ZZ. ZZ is for the males, hence it will be the male bird. When this sperm, it unites with this W containing ovum, here the resultant bird will be consisting of ZW type of genotype, and that is for female. So female bird will develop. Okay, so this is for determination of sex in case of bird. Very easy to remember. Just you have to remember that ZW is the genotype for female, which is exactly opposite to that of human females, and ZZ is for the male individuals. Now we are going to study about determination of sex in case of honeybees. What's the condition in case of honeybees? Remember that Here it is of haplodiploid type. In this type, sex is determined by number of sets of chromosomes which are received. What is the condition in case of honeybees? You should remember that in case of honeybees, 3 kinds of individuals are found. These females in case of honeybees are diploid, consisting of 32 number of chromosomes. That means 2n is equal to 32. It is the diploid condition. So females are diploid. In case of males, n is equal to 16 haploid number of chromosomes are present. So in case of females, 2 types of individuals are there. Female can be the queen and remaining will be the workers. So in case of female, categorization is there. One of the female becomes queen and remaining all females developing will be the workers, and from males which are haploid, they are always the drones. So what is the condition? It is of haplodiploid condition. What does it mean? Haplo is for male individuals and diploid is for the female individuals. Now we will see how the determination of sex takes place. As we have seen, females are diploid. 2n is equal to 32 is the number of chromosome. During gamete formation, meiosis takes place, that is reductional division takes place, and hence gamete formed consisting of n is equal to 16 and second gamete will also be consisting of 16 chromosomes. Why it is so? Because of meiosis, this 32 is reduced to half and this gametes formed will be consisting of 16 number of chromosomes. So here these 2 gametes are formed. We can say that here these 2 ovum are produced from this female. Males are already haploid. So as they are already haploid, in order to maintain the number of chromosome into the developing individual after fertilization, for gamete formation it undergoes mitosis only. So remember, in case of honeybees, during gamete formation, males undergoes mitosis, and that's why number of chromosome remains same, that is 16 in case of sperm. So what happens during fertilization? When this ovum consisting of 16 number of chromosome unites with sperm which also consists of 16 number of chromosomes, resulting individual will be consisting of diploid number of chromosome, that is 2n is equal to 32. So here diploid condition is there, and as already I said that in case of honeybees, diploid condition is in the females. Here one of the ovum is left. This ovum, it develops without fertilization. This process is called as parthenogenesis. Remember the term parthenogenesis, that means development without fertilization. And so this ovum which develops without fertilization, number of the chromosome remains 16 only, and already we have studied in case of honeybees the haploid number of chromosome is for males. So this ovum which develops without fertilization develops into the male, and these males are called as drones. Now we have seen here diploid females develop. Remember that this diploid females differentiated into either workers or queens depending upon the food they consume during their development. Diploid larvae which get royal jelly as food will develop into the queen and others develops into the workers. So here this is the type of sex determination in case of honeybees. See, this can also be asked for 2 marks. Its schematic representation can be asked for 2 marks, and this process of parthenogenesis, meaning of this word parthenogenesis, can be asked for 1 marks. So this part, determination of sex in case of human beings, determination of sex in case of birds and determination of sex in case of honeybees we have completed, and question of 2 or 3 marks can be asked on this topic. In the next lecture we are going to study about sex linkage, actually linkage first, and related with that we are going to study crossing over as well as sex linkage.